just wow, what an experience it is to be standing here in Hanley in part of an art installation. What you were just listening to is Chorus, and it's by the artist Ray Lee. It is part of Appetite's seasonal specials, which are taking place today, tomorrow, through till Wednesday here in Hanley. I've got with me Graham, who's one of the technicians behind. It's art, it's sound, it's a construction, it's engineering, it's all sorts of stuff. Graham, can you tell me a little bit about Chorus, please?
Yes, well, my name is Graham, and I've worked with Ray Lee, the artist that composed the piece. Ray is an award-winning artist and a musician, and worked with him on a number of different projects. This piece, Chorus, has toured nationally and internationally. We've taken this to quite a few different countries. The concept is that each tower, each pyramid-shaped tower, is a part of a composition. So each tower relates to a different type of sound or composition element that relates to the whole piece. So each of them's it's almost like each of them's like a voice. So it's like a choir. Each piece is saying it has its own part to play. And then as you travel through, because obviously there's no seating area as such, you don't have to sit and listen to one particular point. You can wander through, you can hear the different sounds as they travel. And also because the sounds are coming out of the ends of the speakers here and you can see them rotating, what you get is the Doppler effect. So you have that thing of the sound travelling towards you and then passing you and going away. So it's very much about the sort of feel of the different sort of sounds as you manoeuvre through the space. And as I say, it all comes together in a compositional piece about 25 minutes long.
And it really is all-encompassing. You're in it and you're surrounded by it and you feel part of it. But at the same time, it's not overwhelming either. It's really quite calming, and I was surprised at how calm I felt when I was in experiencing it earlier.
Well, we've had lots of different reactions to it. I mean, some people sort of seem to like the whizzing round of the, particularly young kids, they do like the whizzing round of the speakers and things. But a lot of people have walked through it and found it a very meditative experience. We've had people literally meditating in the middle of it at various things. We did WOMAD Festival, and we had quite a few people sat around and just listening to it and relaxing in the lovely weather. Not quite like today, but these kind of things are very much about sort of like how we feel and how we react to the sounds around us and how we hear sounds. So it's very much a sort of that experience of seeing and hearing combined at the same time. Yeah.
We are in what I describe as the wind tunnel of Hanley. So we're on Albion Street, we've got B&M, we've got Wilko's. It is a typical wind tunnel. Is that having an effect on it at all?
It's not having any effect on it in such that the sounds are quite clear. We can still hear the sounds very well. But what we're having a little bit of trouble with is the rotational aspect, because the wind's obviously stopping the speakers spinning in the kind of sense that we would really like them to. But it's not having a particular effect on things. As you've seen, they're going round relatively straightforward, not too bad at all.
How long does it take to make something like this, to come up with something like this, from idea to installation, do you think?
Well, my experience of working in these kind of creative things and in the arts is that it can take years. I mean, that's the truth of the matter, is that you can come up with an idea and a concept, and then it's how you might want to develop that, how it changes over time as well. And also, to a certain extent, it's around about funding, because a lot of these things will take a bit of money to get them to work and get them made. Lots of people involved in the process, whether it's the artists themselves working with lots of different people who are sort of engineers and people who know how to construct these things, builders, and then technicians like myself and the other crew, Martin and Tony here today. There's a lot of people involved, and we all have to get sort of like round the table, if you like, and sort of talk through the ideas initially, and then it can take years and years for a piece to come to fruition from the initial ideas.
And what reactions have you been having so far today, and what do you expect to get over the next few days?
That's the interesting question. It's very different. It's very mixed. We specifically work in a public space is challenging for a lot of people, because they don't always know what it is, why it's here, what they make of it, all those kind of things. It's quite new. So we do expect a lot of very different reactions. We expect, obviously, some negative reactions, like, I mean, it's not my cup of tea, I don't really like this, I don't know what it is. But then you very often get the other side of this, which is people kind of going, well, I've never seen anything like this before, I quite like it. I love the way, the children are running around looking at the things twirling and stuff, and those kind of elements as well. So it's not all negative, but it's all positive as well.
I've seen a few people that have literally just stopped in their tracks and looked up, and then they've been filming it and videoing it, and they've got it to take away and keep as well. That's what I love about stuff outside as well. It's a different reaction every single day and with different people, and I think that's good. What I would say is I love the fact that you can walk around it as well. Was that important in the construction?
Well, it was important in the whole concept of the piece, because, as I say, it's about the way that you hear sounds and the way that you travel through something, and the sound changes because you're from one end to the other, so you're hearing the sounds from this end completely differently than you would at the other end. And all the sounds are changing all the time, so there's a different sort of construct, and so as you move around, you're very much getting the full scope and scape of the piece itself in terms of the sound that it produces.
It happens on the hour, every hour, 12 till 7. Is it the same thing every hour, or is it slightly different?
Well, it's always slightly different because there's always slightly different elements within the piece itself. Mostly we run specific compositions that Ray will choose, so very often we might run a number of different ones on a different day. So it really depends. So it could be very different if somebody saw it today. It could be very different to the sounds they hear potentially on Wednesday or later in the week.
Graham, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Right.
So Chorus happens on the hour here on Albion Street, so just like I say, by B&M, just in front of Wilkinson's as well. And if you want to get down, just explore it. It's really, really fascinating. For me, I just said it was really, you're very much in it, you're very much enveloped in it as well. So Chorus, part of Appetite's seasonal specials, which are taking part from today, Saturday, through until Wednesday here in Hanley.